Welcome to another SideQuest podcast, a detour worth taking. And today I walked into a movie theater, bought a large popcorn I absolutely did not need, and watched a 2-hour anime film surrounded by 40 strangers who were all crying just as hard as I was.
Wait, hold on. You cried?
I cried.
Oh, that's wild. In a theater, in public.
In public, sky, with witnesses.
Okay, that's the most human thing you've ever said.
Not me sitting here like, I have layers. But that's where we're starting today, because something is genuinely happening with anime and movie theaters right now, and I don't think enough people are talking about it the right way.
No, they're not. Everyone's kind of dancing around it, and we're just going to say it straight.
Full send, no hedging.
Hold on. Full send.
The cinematic anime wave is here, it's real, and it's changing how non-anime fans interact with the medium entirely. We're getting into all of it.
Let's go. I'm sorry, what? So, just to set the table, we're not talking about, anime existing in movie theaters. That's been a thing. Ghibli reruns, Pokemon movies in 2000, whatever. That's not this.
Right. This is different. The scale is different. The demographic is different. The cultural moment is different. We're talking about original anime films and theatrical event screenings pulling numbers that are genuinely competing with Hollywood-wide releases.
Dragon Ball Super, Broly. Demon Slayer, Mugen Train. Jujutsu Kaisen, Zero. One Piece, Film Red. These are not niche releases anymore.
Okay. Mugen Train made over $49 million in its opening weekend in the US. For context, and I had to look this up because I didn't believe it, that beat Wonder Woman's opening weekend.
Stop.
I'm not stopping. That's a real number.
Nope. That's insane. That's actually insane.
And the conversation around why that happened, what it means, where it goes, that's the episode.
That's the whole episode.
Bro, same though. Buckle in. Okay, so let's actually build the foundation here, because I think there are people listening who maybe caught one of these films, maybe went because a friend dragged them, and they had a great time, but they don't fully understand the ecosystem they stepped into.
Which is like half the audience for Mugen Train, honestly.
No, but honestly, exactly. And that's actually a good thing. So, the cinematic anime wave, as I'm calling it, kind of has two tracks running parallel. Track 1 is theatrical anime films that are extensions of existing franchises. Mugen Train is Demon Slayer. Jujutsu Kaisen 0 is a prequel to JJK. These bring in the existing fan base, but they're also packaged in a way that's accessible.
And accessible is doing real work in that sentence. Because normally, if you want to watch Demon Slayer, you're committing to 40-some episodes before you even get to the movie?
44, and they're not short.
Oh, that's wild. 44. But the movie? You can almost walk into it fresh. It works better with context, but it's not a wall.
And studios are very deliberately engineering it that way now.
Which is smart. That's actually smart. I hate when I have to compliment a business decision, but...
Not me sitting here like, Sky giving a compliment. Rare.
Cherish it. Don't get used to it.
Track 2 is original standalone films. Your Name, Your A Silent Voice, Suzume, Belle, The First Slam Dunk. Films that don't require you to have watched a single episode of anything. You just go.
And those are the ones that are converting people. Genuinely converting people into anime fans from scratch.
Because the theatrical experience does something streaming can't. I know that sounds like a bumper sticker, but hear me out. When you're watching Your Name at home, alone, it's moving. It's beautiful. But when you're in a theater and the person 3 rows back audibly gasps at the third act reveal,
oh no.
I said what I said, and then someone else starts crying.
And then you start crying.
Because emotions are contagious, Sky, that's just science.
Wait, it is science. It's a documented thing.
The communal experience amplifies the emotional impact, and for a medium that trades in emotional gut punches, that's a superpower.
Makoto Shinkai figured this out and just started printing money.
Like, why do I relate to this so much? Makoto Shinkai is operating at a different frequency from the rest of us at this point.
Different frequency. That's generous. He's just not human.
All right, deep dive time. Let's actually talk about what makes these films work cinematically. Like, why are they landing so hard beyond just anime fans will show up?
That's what I'm saying. Because that used to be the ceiling. The ceiling was, anime fans will show up, you'll make your money, general audiences won't care.
And that ceiling has been demolished. So what changed? I think there are three things, and I want to go through all of them.
Go.
No, but honestly, first thing, production values caught up to and in some ways surpassed Hollywood animation. I'm sorry. I know that's a spicy take for some people, but watch the Infinity Castle arc when that movie comes out, and then come back to me.
Or just watch the end of Demon Slayer Season 2, the Akaza fight, on a TV. And ask yourself if any Western animation studio is doing that right now.
The fluidity of motion, the way fight choreography communicates character, the integration of 2D and 3D techniques. Ufotable specifically has built a visual language that rewards the big screen.
And MAPPA. And WIT. There's a whole tier of studios right now operating at a theatrical level even in their TV work.
Which creates this interesting expectation loop, where fans are already primed to want the theatrical experience because they've seen what the studios can do on a 55-inch screen, and they're thinking, what does this look like at IMAX?
The answer is it looks incredible, and I will die on that hill.
Not me sitting here like. Second thing, and this is the one I think gets underrated, narrative structure. These films are being written to work as complete emotional arcs in 2 hours. That's a craft thing. Writing a 24-episode season and writing a self-contained film are completely different muscles.
Your Name is the perfect example. That film has a 3-act structure that would make a screenwriting professor weep with joy. There's a reason it was submitted for Academy Award consideration.
And when general audiences walk in not knowing anything about anime and they experience a story that hits every beat, that respects their intelligence, that pays off emotionally, they don't walk out saying, wow, that anime was good. They walk out saying, wow, that movie was good.
Hold on. Which is the conversion? That's the moment.
That's the moment. And then they go find out what else is out there.
And then they're watching 150 episodes of Hunter x Hunter 6 months later, wondering what happened to their life.
I said what I said. Speaking from experience?
I plead the fifth. I genuinely plead the fifth.
Third thing, and this one is about distribution and timing. Funimation, Crunchyroll, now Crunchyroll merged into Sony's ecosystem, they've gotten much better at theatrical distribution strategy. They're doing limited runs that create scarcity, building word of mouth, then expanding. It's smart marketing.
Wait, the Demon Slayer rollout was studied. Like that was a case study in how to build hype correctly.
It aired on TV in Japan, the theatrical cut with a new episode attached. Word of mouth spread insane. And then it hit the US, and it just
exploded.
Like, why do I relate to this so much? Exploded.
Can we also just talk about what this means for the theater industry? Because movie theaters have had a rough few years. That's not a secret. And anime is becoming a genuine lifeline.
This is actually a big deal, and I don't want to skip past it. AMC, Regal, they have started specifically courting anime theatrical releases because the audience shows up. They buy tickets in advance. They merchandise. They are engaged.
That's what I'm saying. Anime fans are the best audience in any building they walk into.
We are, genuinely. I'll take that compliment on behalf of the whole community.
And the behavior data shows that these screenings have better concession sales, higher advance ticket purchase rates.
No, but honestly, because people are planning for this, it's an event.
It's a pilgrimage sometimes. People are driving hours to an IMAX showing of a Ghibli re-release.
I drove 2 hours for the One Piece film Red showing, and I will do it again without hesitation.
Oh, that's wild. 2 hours.
2 hours. Ato's soundtrack alone justified the drive.
Fair. That soundtrack is unfair. That's an unfair use of musical talent.
Not me sitting here like, just unhinged levels of good. Okay, so implications. Where does this go? Because I think this is the most interesting part of the conversation. The cinematic anime wave is building momentum, but it's not inevitable that it keeps growing. There are real questions here.
Starting with, what's the ceiling?
Yeah, is there a ceiling? Because if Demon Slayer Infinity Castle lands the way everyone expects it to, and look, that film has been building since 2016 in the manga, the theatrical adaptation of what is essentially the biggest arc in one of the biggest franchises right now.
It could be the biggest anime theatrical release ever, not just in Japan.
I think it could genuinely challenge the top 10 opening weekends in US box office history.
I'm sorry, what? That's a sentence I couldn't have said in 2015.
Couldn't have said it in 2019 even, like the acceleration has been wild.
But here's my pushback, and I have one, I always have one.
Okay, there it is.
Does mainstream success change the thing that makes it special? Like, is there a version of this where anime gets absorbed into the Hollywood blockbuster machine and loses something?
That's the question I didn't want to ask out loud.
Nope. I know. I'm asking it.
Because there's a history here, right? American studios have tried to adapt anime into live action. And look, we don't need to relitigate the Dragon Ball evolution trauma today.
We never need to relive that.
Bro, same though. The scars are too fresh. But there's a difference between Hollywood trying to remake anime and anime itself going cinematic on its own terms in its original form. And so far, the Japanese studios are in control of that.
Ghibli said no to Disney's creative interference, famously. The story about the sword being sent to Disney executives to say there will be no cuts.
That story might be apocryphal, but I choose to believe it with my whole chest.
Okay, no. Same. It's too perfect. But that ethos, protecting the creative vision, that's what keeps the quality there.
And the audience can feel it. Audiences are not stupid. They know when something is made with genuine craft and love versus when something is manufactured to hit demographics.
Which is why a film like A Silent Voice, which deals with bullying, disability, depression, and forgiveness, can pack theaters without a single explosion, on vibes and emotional honesty alone.
This is embarrassing, but on vibes and emotional honesty alone, that's actually a great way to put it.
I have my moments. You really do.
Not me sitting here like. The other implication I want to name is what this does for anime discovery. We talked about this briefly earlier, but every person who sees Suzume and cries and then Googles, what else did the director of Suzume make, is finding your name, is finding Weathering with You, is potentially becoming a lifelong fan.
And then they find streaming. And then they find the long-form series. And then it's over for them. In the best way.
The theater is the gateway now in a way it wasn't before. It used to be you found anime on TV at midnight, or through a friend passing you a DVD.
Hold on. A burned DVD with handwritten labels. Let's be historically accurate.
Historically accurate. But now the gateway is a Friday night at the movies with someone who doesn't even consider themselves an anime fan yet.
And that audience matters, not just commercially, though it does matter commercially, but culturally. The more people who have experienced anime as a serious artistic form, the more space there is for the medium to grow, to take risks, to tell bigger stories.
I said what I said. The financial success of these theatrical releases is funding more ambitious projects. That's not abstract. That's real.
More Makoto Shinkai films, more MAPPA budgets, more of Ufotable doing things with light and water that should not be possible in animation.
The flywheel is spinning. And I am choosing to be optimistic about where it lands.
Wait. I'm cautiously optimistic. I've been burned before.
We've all been burned before. We don't talk about it.
We don't talk about it.
Like, why do I relate to this so much? Dragon Ball Evolution.
I said we don't talk about it.
Gone. Deleted. Never happened. Okay, takeaways, and then we've got a recommendation before we go. Quickly, if you take nothing else from today, anime in theaters is not a trend waiting to fade. The production quality, the storytelling craft, the audience enthusiasm, and the distribution infrastructure are all aligned right now. This is a new era, and the best films are still ahead of us.
Infinity Castle. Mark your calendars. Protect your emotional well-being in advance.
Preemptively hydrate. You will need it.
Okay, no. Hydration is key.
All right, recommendation time. Sky, you want to take this one or should I?
You go. It's your pick this week.
Okay, so this week's recommendation is No Game, No Life, Zero. And if you've been sleeping on this one, today is the day you fix that. It's a standalone prequel film set in the same world as the No Game, No Life series, but you genuinely don't need to have watched the show to be wrecked by this movie. It tells this sweeping, tragic love story set against a full-scale war between gods, and the film builds to an ending that just destroys you quietly, like it sneaks up on the devastation. Visually, it's gorgeous. Emotionally, it swings big and connects, and it runs under 2 hours, so there's zero excuse. I'm giving it a solid 4.5 out of 5 stars. It loses half a star purely because I needed about 30 minutes of sitting in silence afterward to recover, and nobody warned me.
Nobody ever warns you. That's the rule.
That's always the rule. Thanks for hanging out with us today on another side quest, a detour worth taking. We'll see you on the next one.